friends, welcome back to Book Time. This is my episode where I'm going to tell you about all of my June TBR plans, and this is a big one. The month of June is going to be an exciting month, and I cannot wait. I have so many fun reading challenges and readathons I am a part of, so I definitely decided to make my TBR a little smaller because I wasn't sure if all of the prompts that we're going to have in our reading challenge for a Patreon that I am a part of will fit in with that. But let's kick off what I'm most excited about this month, which would be my friend Gwen. She has an awesome Patreon full of wonderful, beautiful souls, and it is called the Talk Bookish to Me Patreon, and I will link her below. And for the month of June, we are doing a Survivor reading challenge, and without giving too much away, basically we are playing out the scenario of Survivor the show in reading form. We have teams, we have prompts, and it's been so much fun so far. So I decided to make my TBR a little bit smaller just in case I need to read some books that would match certain things that we're doing with the challenge, and I didn't want to be overwhelmed by my TBR being so big. So that is one I am so excited about. The other Patreon I am a part of, Liv's Library, is doing a Pride and Prejudice readathon, and I cannot wait. I am so excited about it, and it will just be the most fun time, and I will link her below as well so you can hop on board with her Patreon and learn all about her readathon. Pride and Prejudice is my all-time favorite book, so I am so excited to read different adaptions of that book for the month of June. So let's get right into it. The first book on my list for my June TBR that I am very excited about, and I have been anticipating this book so much, is Ruth Ware's One Perfect Couple. Now, my best friend Wendy at Wendy's Inspired Reads is currently reading this, and she is loving it and eating it up. So I am so excited to join her and read this. She's pretty much already done, so it can't be a buddy read at this point, but I cannot wait to read this. I know my friend Hannah at the Teacher's TBR just got this book, so buddy read, Hannah, let's do it. Also, for Liv's Library, her Patreon, this is her book pick of the month. And so I decided to make this my add-on for my book of the month, and I cannot wait to get started. Basically, this is going to be a reality show with a couple that is trying to win a large amount of money. So let's just go ahead and read it. It says, Lila is in a bit of a rut. Her postdoctoral research has fizzled out. She's pretty sure they won't extend her contract, and things with her boyfriend, Nico, an inspiring actor, aren't going great. When the opportunity arises for Nico to join the cast of a new reality TV show, One Perfect Couple, she decides to try out with him. A whirlwind audition process later, Lila finds herself whisked away to a tropical island with Nico, boating through the Indian Ocean towards Ever After Island, where the two of them will compete against four other couples, Bayer and Angel, Dan and Santana, Joel and Romy, Connor and Zaina, in order to win a cash prize. But not long after they arrive on the desert island, things start to go wrong. After the first challenge leaves everyone rattled and angry, an overnight storm takes matters from bad to worse. Cut off from the mainland by miles of ocean, deprived of their phones and unable to contact the crew that brought them there, the group must band together for survival. This sounds so good. I hear it is fun reality TV meets thriller, and so I cannot wait. I love reality TV. Love is Blind. I binge it every time a season comes out. It is so good. So very excited about this one. The next book that I'm so excited about, my bestie at Wendy's Inspired Reads got for me. She already said it in her, I think it was her May wrap up, but she ended up loving Live and Let Shy by Bree Baker. We both buddy read it together, and I absolutely loved that book, but she wanted to keep that when it was my copy, so we decided to kind of trade cozies. She bought me a new cozy in order to keep that one. I told her she didn't have to, but she did it anyway. She's a great friend. But this is actually Here Today, Gone Tamale, and it is part of a Taste of Texas mystery series. This is by Rebecca Adler. How cute is this cover? There you can see it. It's like everything. And the blurb says, when the chips are down. Obviously it's talking about nacho chips, and I'm so excited about this. It's first in a series, and it basically says, reporter turned Tex-Mex waitress Josie Callan is about to go from serving queso to solving cases. Now that's all I'm gonna read for you because it's kind of a long description, but I decided to choose a cozy, and it's really short and small just in case it matches one of the prompts with our Survivor challenge. So I wanted to go light. The next book chose is one of my amazing friend Keisha's favorite cozies, and she has an amazing YouTube channel, A Book Like You, where she puts out incredible content, Christian content. I love her to pieces. She's on vacation right now, so I get to talk about her in my video and surprise her. But she loves this book, Buried in a Good Book, and she actually bought this cozy to surprise my bestie, Wendy. Wendy didn't love it, but I bet I will. I'm so excited to try it because recently a lot of the books that I have been liking, Wendy didn't like as much, so it's kind of fun to see, you know, like how we're different in those areas. But this is by Tamara Berry. And I'll read the blurb. It says, turns out solving a real crime is a lot more difficult than writing about one. This is about a best-selling thriller author, Tess Harrow, and her teenage daughter, Gertrude. They need a fresh start. So now that Tess's divorce is final, the best place for her and her daughter to heal and reconnect is this rustic cabin in the woods that Tess inherited from her late grandfather. Between the beautiful pond on the property and the majestic mountain views and the peaceful forest, it should be a relaxing getaway. But they've barely made it through the door when an explosion shakes the cabin and suddenly things fall apart. That sounds exciting. I'm so excited to try this. Okay, so my next book I actually got on my book buying haul, and that was with my bestie Wendy and my friend Talia. And Talia's handle is Booking on a Budget on Instagram. I will link her below. But this was such a cute cozy, and once again, my good cozy queen friend Keisha recommended this cozy to me. This is Crime and Poetry by Amanda Flower. I am so excited for this because I have been hearing this is one of the best cozies. So apparently I am a cozy girly. I did not know that I needed this in my life, that I was missing this in my life, but I started reading cozies and I just find them to be so satisfying, especially food cozies. Definitely up my alley, and I'm so excited to try this. Outside Niagara Falls sits the village of Cascade Springs, New York, the home of a magical bookstore where one young woman, her feisty grandmother, and a curious tuxedo cat team up to keep crime between the pages. Sounds so cute. So once again, it's a smaller read just in case I end up not having a book that fits one of the prompts and I have to read something different in my Survivor Challenge. Next book I'm excited to read. This is a Pride and Prejudice adaptation. This is Jane in Love, and it is a novel by Rachel Givney, and it says, what if Jane Austen traveled to the present day and fell in love? And I am going to read this for my Pride and Prejudice readathon with Liv's Library, and I'm super excited about it. I read the back of it already, so I can kind of summarize. Basically, Jane Austen falls in love. She finds a way to teleport herself to modern day. She falls in love with someone, and then as she continues in that world with that relationship, she finds that she is a best-selling author, and it's amazing, and she realizes the impact of her work in today's society. But then as she continues to stay in that time, she realizes that all of her books are missing from the shelves and she's no longer famous because basically she is choosing the future over the past. So I think it's going to be a really good kind of like, what's that one movie, The Lake House, where Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, it's like great love but at the wrong time, and they're on different timelines. So I'm so excited to try this one, and it is going to be a new author for me, so I can't wait to dive in. The next book I bought, I don't know why, but this book has been in my mind for such a long time. I cannot stop thinking about it, and I just finally dove in, picked it up. Girl Abroad by Elle Kennedy. I cannot wait to try this because my friend Jordan Elaine here on YouTube loves this book, and I do think that this book was said to be like New Girl, and New Girl is my entire personality. I absolutely love that show. I've already read this entire back on a different video that I am going to be posting, so I won't go too much into it, but I'll just say the blurb. It says, it's these small exchanges that keep my head in a fog, the small expressions of his desire. It does a number on me. Everyone loves a good secret. Basically, the book is about this girl who moves in with 3 guys thinking they're girls in London. That's New Girl. I'm so excited. It's gonna be such a great read, and I cannot wait to dive in. And it's also sort of a heftier book. Hopefully it fits one of the prompts. The next book I am actually borrowing from my bestie Wendy. It is Never by Jessa Hastings, and she is the author of Magnolia Parks. If you were like, who's that? Everybody probably knows her. You're probably wondering, what is that book? Because she's most popular for Magnolia Parks, Daisy Hates, but I saw this at Barnes & Noble and I could not stop thinking about it, and I really wanted to try it. Everyone hates this book, but I bet you I'm going to love it. So I'm gonna dive in and see what it's all about. It is a modern retelling of Peter Pan, and it says, growing up, Daphne always knew Peter Pan would come for her, the way he'd come for her mother and her grandmother Wendy before that, the darling girls. Their stories are all the same, the forever young boy at their window after their 13th birthday in the shimmering magical land behind a star. When Peter doesn't show up for Daphne until she's 17, inexplicably full grown and with no excuse for his tardiness, Daphne doesn't know what to think. Still, she has always been told that Peter Pan is her destiny. It's beyond choice to take his hand and leap into the stars no matter what comes next. But in Neverland, Peter's true colors begin to show. One moment he's making Daphne's heart flutter, and the next he's forgotten about her entirely. So when Daphne stumbles into the path of Jameson Hook, the pirate son of Peter's nemesis, she lets herself get swept up in his vulgar charm despite the warning signs. Both boys are trouble, and both have dangerous secrets about this strange fantasy land they call home. And if she loses her heart to either one, Daphne might lose herself forever. I feel like that sounds so good, and I have really high expectations for this book, so I cannot wait to try it. The next book is not been the favorite of some of my friends, and I am really excited to try it because my opinion sometimes vastly differs from theirs. But this is Stuart Turton's The Last Murder at the End of the World. This is supposed to be like literary fiction sci-fi, I guess. And so it sounds very apocalyptic, like end of world, crazy things are happening. Outside the island, there is nothing. The world was destroyed by a fog that swept the planet, killing anyone it touched. On the island, it is idyllic. 122 villagers and 3 scientists living in peaceful harmony. The villagers are content to fish, farm, and feast, and to obey their nightly curfew, to do whatever they're told by the scientists. Until, to the horror of the islanders, one of their beloved scientists is found brutally stabbed to death. And then they learn that the murder has triggered a lowering of the security system around the island, the only thing that was keeping the fog at bay. If the murder isn't solved within 107 hours, the fog will smother the island and everyone on it. It sounds good to me. I like a good murder mystery, especially if there's sci-fi involved. I don't recognize anyone who has praised this book, but, AJ Finn. The last book I am going to attempt is actually going to be another cozy laugh, if you will, but I am so excited to try Death by Dumpling by Vivian Sheen? I'm excited about this cozy because my friend Hannah at the Teacher's TBR loves this book, and so I cannot wait to dive in. Also, I think my friend Jules at Books and Things likes this book or has read this book and enjoyed it. Yeah, I cannot wait. I love Chinese food. Everything about this book screams Chinese food, and now I just need to go get Chinese food. I also just recently read Mayhem at the Orient Express, and I vlogged about reading that in my previous video, my travel vlog, and I just found that I love food cozies. But it says, welcome to Ho Li Noodle House, where the Chinese food is to die for. The last place Lana Lee thought she would ever end up is back at her family's restaurant. But after a brutal breakup and a dramatic workplace walkout, she figures that a return to the Cleveland area to help wait tables is her best option for putting her life back together, even if that means having to put up with her mother, who was dead set on finding her a husband. Lana's love life soon becomes yesterday's news once the restaurant's property manager, Mr. Fing, turns up dead after a delivery of shrimp dumplings from Ho Li. But how could this have happened when everyone on staff knew about Mr. Fing's severe life-threatening shellfish allergy? Now, with the whole restaurant under suspicion for murder and the local media in a feeding frenzy, to say nothing of the gorgeous police detective who keeps turning up for takeout, it's up to Lana to find out who is behind Fing's killer order before her own number is up. That sounds so good. I'm so excited about all of these incredible books. Let me show them to you, stack them up here. It is going to be such an incredible reading month. I cannot wait to try all of these books out. Look at how horrible I stacked them. This is not great, but I cannot wait. June, here we come. It is going to be such an amazing reading month and I cannot wait. If you have made it this far, go ahead and put an orange heart below to represent my team, which is Team Falaga. We are going to win this Survivor Challenge and I hope to see you back on a June wrap up. Bye everybody.